Our next team, final team, represents the United States of America. Hana, Maria, ABOIAN, and Daniil, VESELUKHIN.
They have looked incredible in practice. Their ice coverage sublime. And this, a free dance, but the goddess Nike and her sculptor. Well, I was just gripped, so gripped by the performance from America's Hana, Maria, ABOIAN, and Daniil, VESELUKHIN. And you know, so often we reference that the program component scores the judges have to input to the skaters are based on the skating skills and speed. They were so crazy fast.
Yeah, incredible. And it didn't ever look like they were trying to accelerate. They just always had that same speed throughout the program. Effortless, as we talked about. And boy.
And interesting that one of their coaches, Inyo Cordoba, their ballroom specialist, he said that he'd worked so hard to get Daniil to have the presence of Slavik Krikiliev, a ballroom Latin champion. And so it's almost like this team is looking beyond the world of competitive ice dance to motivate themselves to be something special and unique. Even the concept the goddess of victory, Nike, is a rather obscure concept, but that's kind of where this team's at, beyond convention, to go above and beyond.
And that's always, you'll make your own mark.
Yeah.
Be your own people.
Even a little bit of clapography in between the first and the second twizzle, like that. It was just, you know, ice dance is often hard to predict. I know that the spectators who are not ice dancer aficionados themselves might struggle to see, well, how can we separate the teams? But just the power, the sheer power of this team makes it an indisputable win.
Well, I think you can see that, you know, from most teams, but it's hard on the monitor really to understand the speed and the flow that you have, you know, depending on how far away the camera shot is. And so unless you're in the rink, it's really hard to clearly see it. However, this last few teams clearly better than the previous groups, and by miles.
You know, we haven't had a team cross the 100-point threshold in a free dance this season as Melissa joins them. Melissa Gregory and Denis Pechikov, former Olympian Sport America husband and wife team, that are another emerging powerhouse coaching couple.
Yeah, totally. There seems to be a lot around the world.
Yeah.
And that only makes the sport of ice dance that much more interesting and dramatic, and that may be the most dramatic event at the Olympic Games this year, because how many teams are so close, and it's going to be very difficult. You're going to have your favorites, and you're going to think they should win, but it's going to be broken down by the detail of the...
I'm kind of glad I'm not commentating. I mean, I wish I was commentating on it, but imagine trying to differentiate those teams.
No, exactly.
Oh, this is the 6th, 7th thing.
Yeah, there's the 6th, 7th thing.
This, okay,
finally we understand it. And what does it mean? Doesn't mean anything.
It's some sort of meme about a baseball game?
Yeah, it was a basketball game, I think.
Was it basketball?
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Let's take a look at the scores. Here it is. 100.41. Season's best. They broke that century mark. That is obviously first in the free dance with the total competition score 167.11. They are the champions here in Abu Dhabi.
And possibly the best reaction of the week.
Yeah.
Thanks for that too.
Yeah,
fun.
That's terrific. There we go.